Darkseid versus Sentry, who would win? Two beings standing at the absolute edge of what comic book power can represent. One is the god of evil, ruler of apocalypse, the living embodiment of tyranny and absolute control. The other is a man holding the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns inside a fractured and unstable mind. One seeks to enslave existence through the anti-life equation. The other struggles to control the very power that makes him a god. And when these two forces collide, reality itself begins to tremble. This is not just a battle. This is control versus chaos. Certainty versus instability. Godhood versus something that may be even beyond it. Darkseid does not rise. Darkseid exists. He is not simply a ruler. He is a cosmic principle, a being whose true form transcends dimensions, whose physical appearances are only avatars of something far greater. As the master of apocalypse, he governs a world built on suffering, a planet that exists only to fuel his will. His strength is beyond planetary, beyond universal. He has gone toe-to-toe with Superman, crushed entire teams like the Justice League, and battled new gods as if they were equals, because to him they are. His power bends reality, but his will defines it. And then there are the Omega Beams, not simple energy attacks, but intelligent forces that track their target across space, time, and even dimensions. They do not miss. They do not stop. They erase. They have destroyed beings, rewritten timelines, and bent existence itself to Darkseid's command. But even that is not his greatest weapon. The anti-life equation is what truly elevates Darkseid beyond a physical threat. It is not destruction. It is domination. A formula that removes free will itself, reducing entire civilizations to obedient extensions of his will. When unleashed, it doesn't just defeat opponents. It ends resistance entirely. This is the power of a being who doesn't just conquer worlds, but conquers the idea of choice. Now, standing opposite him is something far less stable and far more unpredictable. Robert Reynolds, the Sentry, is power without a ceiling. A man who gained the strength of 1,000,000 exploding suns, and with it, the burden of holding that power together. On paper, Sentry is one of Marvel's most powerful beings. He has torn Ares apart with his bare hands, matched the World-Breaker Hulk, and traveled across the universe in seconds. He can manipulate matter at a molecular level, regenerate from complete destruction, and reshape reality around him through sheer will. But Sentry is not defined by control. He is defined by instability, because inside him exists the Void. The Void is not just a separate entity. It is Sentry's darkness made real. Every fear, every trauma, every suppressed emotion given form, and when it takes over, Sentry stops being a hero and becomes a catastrophe. The Void has overwhelmed gods, destroyed cities effortlessly, and fought at levels that push beyond conventional cosmic limits. And the most terrifying truth is this: the Void is not weaker than Sentry. It is equal, meaning when both sides merge, Sentry becomes something with no restraint, no hesitation, and no defined limit. Now imagine the moment they meet. A broken battlefield, a silent, collapsing world. Darkseid stands unmoving, his presence alone warping reality. And from the sky, Sentry descends, golden energy radiating from his body, but flickering with something darker beneath the surface. Darkseid attacks first. The Omega Beams erupt from his eyes, tearing through space as they lock onto Sentry. They twist, they chase, they adapt, and Sentry does the unthinkable. He takes them head on. The explosion that follows is catastrophic, ripping apart the landscape in an instant. For a moment, there is nothing but silence. Then, the light returns. Sentry stands, barely, his body reforming as quickly as it is destroyed. His aura flickers, his mind strains, and something inside him begins to break. He charges. The impact between them sends shockwaves across the planet, fracturing reality itself. Darkseid absorbs the force and responds with overwhelming power, striking back with blows that would destroy entire worlds. Sentry is thrown back, But he doesn't stay down. He comes back harder, faster, more aggressive. Molecules around them begin to distort under his influence. Reality starts bending unpredictably. Darkseid recognizes the shift. This is no longer a controlled opponent. So he changes tactics. Instead of meeting force with force, Darkseid activates the anti-life equation, directing it not at a population, but at a single mind. A fractured mind. A vulnerable mind. And for a moment, it works. Sentry slows. His golden light dims. His thoughts fracture further as the equation presses into his deepest fears. It begins to take control. But then, everything changes. Because the anti-life equation does not suppress Sentry. It breaks him. The void emerges fully. The golden light darkens, twisting into something far more terrifying. Sentry is no longer holding anything back. The distinction between him and the void disappears. And what stands before Darkseid is no longer unstable power. It is unleashed power. And now, the battle shifts. Darkseid, for the first time, is forced onto the defensive. The Omega beams strike again and again, landing, damaging, but no longer stopping what's coming. Sentry's molecular manipulation begins tearing at Darkseid's very structure, attacking not just his body, but the foundation of his existence. Even Darkseid's godhood resists, but resistance is not immunity. The assault becomes overwhelming. Darkseid is still a god, still one of the most powerful beings in DC. His strength, his strategy, his control over the Omega Force, all of it is unmatched in most battles. But this is not most battles, because Sentry has no ceiling. At his absolute peak, with the void fully unleashed, his power continues to rise without limit. And more importantly, Darkseid's greatest weapon, the anti-life equation, has become his greatest mistake, triggering the very transformation that makes Sentry unstoppable in this moment. So here's the final answer. Darkseid is stronger in terms of control, consistency, and cosmic authority. He is the better strategist, the more complete god. But Sentry is more powerful at peak. And in a fight that inevitably escalates to maximum power, peak decides everything. The final result is clear. Darkseid versus Sentry. Sentry wins. Not easily, not cleanly, but decisively. When the dust settles and reality stabilizes, it is Sentry who remains damaged, unstable, barely holding himself together, but still standing. Because in the end, Darkseid represents absolute control, and Sentry represents something far more dangerous: power without limits.